But that one was the one, but it was for the wrong. It had the wrong result. It made him a very, very dangerous man, and you could see how intense he was on wanting to go out there. And even when he was throwing it early in the fight, when he was throwing counter punches, I've never seen him throw with that kind of, like Mike Tyson used to say, bad intention.
Any kind of success or any kind of result, especially after that performance. Usyk's getting better and better. He just improves every time he fights, and now he's bigger and thicker set, 20 pound heavier tonight than what he was when he beat Usyk.
That fight was supposed to prove a point, but instead it had the opposite effect. It turned Oleksandr Usyk into a far more dangerous man. From the opening bell, you could see his intensity. Every counterpunch carried what Mike Tyson used to call bad intentions. It wasn't just boxing, it was personal. Many believed Usyk might finally show signs of slowing down, but the Ukrainian only silenced his critics once again. He came into the rematch with Daniel Dubois heavier, stronger, and sharper, nearly 20 pounds bigger than when he first became champion. And yet, despite the added size, he looked quicker, more precise, and almost untouchable. His training methods, unorthodox, unique, and highly disciplined, make him seem like he can see every punch before it even lands. That's why breaking him down in the ring feels nearly impossible. Before this fight, many questioned whether Usyk could continue his dominance against younger, more powerful heavyweights. But on this night, he didn't just win, he dominated.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was surprised because I had never seen him so intent on wanting to knock somebody out. It's the quickest knockout he scored, I think, in his professional career.
Yes,
I'd
even
have to
at
look
cruiserweight.
at it. Yeah, I'd have to look to be sure, but it's the quickest knockout he scored. He was a man on a mission.
Yeah.
He was really personally hurt and offended by the remarks made by Team Dubois, by George Fox, Don Charles' son, by Don himself. I think the straw that broke the camel's back was questioning Usyk's faith.
Yes.
Now you could question a lot. You can question his skill, question boxing, or whatever you want. Questioning his faith, bro.
Yeah.
That was something that really hit a chord, and you don't often. Tyson Fury couldn't get to
he tried
Usyk
every head
mentally,
game in
right.
the book.
But that one was the one, but it was for the wrong. It had the wrong result. It made him a very, very dangerous man, and you could see how intense he was on wanting to go out there, and even when he was throwing it early in the fight. When he was throwing counter punches, I've never seen him throw with that kind of, like Mike Tyson used to say, bad intentions.
Yeah, bad intentions, yeah.
He was throwing with bad intentions, yeah.
His footwork, timing, and composure dismantled Dubois. As Russ Amber pointed out, Usyk entered with something to prove, and he left the arena having reminded the world why he's still the king. What made the performance even more remarkable was Usyk's mindset. He wasn't just defending belts, he was defending his pride and his faith. Remarks made by Dubois's camp cut deep, especially when his religious beliefs were mocked. That lit a fire inside him. And when Usyk fights with emotion, while still keeping discipline, the result is devastating. The knockout.
Usyk's involvement in the war began when he enlisted in the Ukrainian Territorial Defense Forces after the Russian invasion. His decision to fight for Ukraine has had a profound impact on the country, making him a symbol of hope and resistance. Usyk's presence on the front lines has boosted the morale of the Ukrainian military and civilian population alike. So this man kept his heavyweight championship, continued to be heavyweight champion, no losses, nothing on his record, and still went and defended his country during war. Given that, you gotta give him the greatest heavyweight fighter of all time. His accolades inside the ring match it. But now that I find this out, that the man was in the front line, and they said that even after the Fury fight, he was keeping in contact with the soldiers, and he was, boosting the morale and boosting his countrymen and raising money for the war, regardless of the politics, whether the war should be going on or not, and who should be killing who, it don't matter. The man went to war.
The knockout he scored was one of the quickest in his career, a man on a mission, unwilling to be disrespected. But Usyk's greatness stretches far beyond boxing. At the height of his career, he left the ring to defend Ukraine during the war. While many would have chosen safety, Usyk stood with his country. He became a symbol of hope, courage, and patriotism. Even after the Fury fights, he continued supporting soldiers on the front lines, raising morale and funds for the war effort. Few champions in history have balanced sporting glory with that level of sacrifice. Carl Froch noted that Usyk continues to improve with every fight, becoming a solid
heavier tonight than what it was when he beat Fury, which I said earlier. He just looks like a big, solid heavyweight, big, solid, dangerous heavyweight, but I'd like to see him retire. He's 38 years old. Eventually, it's going to catch up with him, the age, and there's nothing left to do. He's made an absolute fortune, and he don't need it anymore. He's done it. He's clocked it. He's completed it. It's like he's got the cheat code, and it's like it's not fair on everybody else. So I'd like to see Usyk retire. Let me know in the comments who you'd like to see him fight next. Somebody like Moses Atoma, I just don't think is going to be ready. I think if you're managing Moses, you need to take your time with him. You can't be chucking him in there. People say, yeah, chuck him in there with him, fight him, see how he goes. If he gets beat, he's lost to Usyk. But it could destroy his soul. It could take away that young, promising prospect that Atoma is. He could have a good future. And to fight somebody like Usyk now, if he got wiped out and got disheartened, it could be the end of his career. So I just think Usyk now, really, nobody can say anything to Usyk if he retires now after that win. He's done everything there is to do. Fury twice, AJ twice, now Dubois twice. There's nobody else left to beat. He's done it. Usyk should just hang the gloves up. He's been a fantastic addition to the heavyweight division since coming up from cruiserweight. He's been absolutely brilliant, and what he did tonight against Dubois was nothing short of just... He made it look easy, and I don't want to disrespect Daniel Dubois, but he just made it look easy, and he does make rounds look easy, doesn't he? Whoever is in with, whether he's in with Tyson Fury, whether he's in with AJ, he makes it look easy.
Dangerous heavyweight. But Froch also admitted he'd like to see Usyk retire soon. At 38, Usyk has conquered cruiserweight, unified heavyweight, and beaten everyone in his era: Joshua twice, Fury twice, Dubois twice. What more is there left to prove? Froch believes he's already completed the game, calling it almost unfair to other heavyweights. Other names like Joseph Parker or even Derek Chisora have been floated as potential opponents, but few believe they'd pose a real threat. As Io Oladipo pointed out, those matchups would generate interest for entertainment, not true competition.
Then, well, here it is. Here's your world title shot. You're going to fight for a world title, right? But if you're Joseph Parker, and I spoke to Andy Lee, it isn't just a case of fighting for a world title. You want to fight the number one for the world title, and that guy is Oleksandr Usyk. So, yeah, there must be loads of conversations going on right now. Loads of conversations. I did say this the other day, and I don't know, sometimes I'm like, when I was in the ring and I was interviewing Oleksandr Usyk, I was desperate because of my love for Joseph Parker. I was desperate for Joseph Parker to get... I know he got in the ring after, but I'm talking about on the zone. So whilst everyone is still in the stadium and everyone's still tuned in, I was desperate for him to kind of just jump in the ring. I was desperate for him to do it. Chisora was trying to do it. So Chisora knows how to play the game. And as much as people are like, what's Chisora doing? Chisora won't get the fight, but that's kind of what you got to do. And I know people are like, well, 1 second, it's not like that. It's rankings. Well, no, it's not though, is it? Because, again, Oleksandr Usyk can vacate the belt. He can say no. You have to kind of do what Daniel Dubois did last time. Daniel Dubois, rightly or wrongly, got in the ring, pissed Usyk off. Usyk's like, okay, we'll if fuck it. If this is what you're doing, dude, we'll fight. And I felt like there was a time where I wanted Joseph Parker to almost nudge me. And I'm telling you now, we're kind of told not to give the mic. I don't know if you see, I always hold on to the mic. I would have given Joseph Parker the mic. And I would like Joseph Parker because there's a mean side to Joseph Parker. I think everyone sees the friendly side. I've seen the mean side. And I wanted Joseph Parker to say, I want my shot. You've been ducking me. All these things might not be true, but do it. Sell it. The crowd would have gone a bit wild, right? Because I think a lot of the crowd want Joseph Parker to get his shot. But that's not what happened. And all of a sudden, you're seeing Jake Paul in the ring doing a face-off. You're seeing all these, and I'm like, Where's Joseph Parker? Where are you, Joseph?
Because at this stage, no one looks capable of dethroning Usyk. The comparisons to Muhammad Ali are now louder than ever. While their styles are different, both fighters share the same genius, the ability to control rhythm, use angles, and adapt mid-fight. Usyk doesn't just fight opponents, he breaks their will, mentally and physically. Roy Jones Jr. summed it up perfectly: you can't beat Usyk with just size and power. You need the perfect strategy, or he'll destroy you. Even more impressive is Usyk's humility. Despite being a 3-time undisputed champion across 2...
Interesting heavyweight division, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys thought of Usyk's performance, where he ranks on the all-time list. I know, everybody was big into their nostalgia, but remember, Soviets were not turning pro until the 90s, and I think that makes a big difference. That's another thing. Heavyweights are bigger. Lefties are more common now, and also the Soviet era of fighters did not start turning pro until the 90s. So the old days, they didn't have to deal with those guys. So a lot of things that also favor Usyk being a GOAT. But of course, man, it's hard to pick against Ali being the GOAT.
weight divisions, he still trains like an underdog. He respects every opponent, prepares for 12 rounds, and never underestimates anyone. That discipline keeps him sharp while others grow complacent. For Pauli Malignaggi, Usyk represents the future of boxing, where intelligence, precision, and rhythm outweigh brute force. His subtle footwork and clever angles slowly drain opponents until they have no answers left. He wins not just with punches, but with control of time, space, and psychology. At this point, many believe Usyk should retire on top. His unbeaten at heavyweight, conquered multiple generations of champions, defended his country, and earned the respect of fans worldwide. Some call him the best of his era. Others already place him among the all-time greats. Whether he continues or hangs up the gloves, one thing is certain: Oleksandr Usyk has etched his name in history. A champion in the ring, a patriot outside it, and possibly the last true genius of heavyweight boxing. Please like and subscribe my YouTube channel.